Hey everyone, welcome into our weekly recap of the biggest developments in cannabis for the week of June 16th, coming to you from Berlin, Germany, where we've been all around this week at Mary Jane Berlin. This is Europe's biggest cannabis event. So with this week, we had High Tide's earnings beat to a DEA raid in California that sent migrant workers running at 113-degree heat. The cannabis industry had no shortage of fireworks this week, so let's get into it. Let's first start. What started as a DEA drug operation in California's eastern Coachella Valley turned into a day of panic and fear for hundreds of undocumented farm workers. Over 500 DEA agents in armored vehicles stormed illegal cannabis grow ops across Indio, Coachella, Thermal, and Mecca. The operation led to 70 to 75 arrests. But the optics, they were devastating. Workers fled into nearby fields in 113-degree heat, afraid it was an immigration sweep. Local nonprofits scrambled to deliver water, food, and reassurance. Congressman Real Ruiz called it a traumatic and unacceptable. The DEA says it was just about cannabis, but for farm workers living in fear, it was something entirely different. Let's now move to reform, where Donald Trump, the president, could finally be legalizing cannabis. It's a question that circulates around the industry right now. It was the buzz coming out of the Benzinga's Capital Cannabis Conference, where Weldon Angelos and Trulieve CEO Kim Rivers both claim Trump is moving towards meaningful reform. Trump has backed medical cannabis before, even in supporting Florida's adult use push last year, but since then, his record's been mixed. His pick to lead the DEA, Terrence Cole, dodged rescheduling questions, and while White House sources have been vague about next steps. So the big question is reform coming? Possibly, but after so many false starts under Biden, the cannabis world isn't holding its breath right now. Let's now move to the business side, and this week's top performer is High Tide, which trades at the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol HITI. Despite a shorter quarter, the company posted $137.8 million in revenue, 6.2% in same-store sales, and a bounce back in free cash flow. 200 stores, 12% market share, 5.8 million loyalty members globally. So they're not just surviving, they are scaling. CEO Raj Grover also revealed High Tide is in exclusive talks to enter the German market, with the model project already submitted to federal regulators. The move could mark a major leap into Europe, so keep your eye on High Tide. Also, John Kuber, CEO of Nevis Brands, says hemp drinks are just getting started. Nevis's flagship brand Major is now in 11 states and growing. Kuber believes hemp beverages will outpace THC drinks thanks to easier distribution, clear regulations, and faster adoption. Markets like Missouri and New Jersey are thriving, and with projected growth from $500 million to $2 billion in 4 years, this category could be one of the industry's biggest dark horse wins, so keep your eye on this. Also making news this week was Farm Labs, where it held its annual meeting where management's slate won out. Dissidents were rejected, and the company doubled down on its cannabinoid pharmaceutical focus. Meanwhile, Vario locked in its merger, projecting $90 million in Q2 revenue and more than $100 million in cash. With refinancing underway, Vario is now one of the most capitalized MSOs in the game. Who would have thought? And Curaleaf added CPG heavyweight Rahul Pinto as president, signaling a stronger push towards retail and brand strategy. Now with a stacked leadership, Curaleaf's next chapter could look a lot more like a Fortune 500 playbook. So again, job well done by Curaleaf. In Australia, in Canix, they launched a psychedelic therapy clinic with Mind Medicine Australia. As we shift a little bit to the psychedelic side, the clinic will offer treatments for PTSD and depression, helping meet growing demand and cutting costs by tripling capacity. And finally, being here in Berlin all week gave us some great insight into Europe's cannabis future. Some of the notable highlights included High Tide is in late-stage talks with the German distributor, but Raj Grover admitted the deal could still fall through. So keep your eye on this one. As well, analyst Pavlo Zuanic warned that while Germany saw strong H1 growth, short-term momentum for exporters may cool. And finally, Paul Ferrero of Village Farms highlighted the opportunity in Holland, where competition is light and infrastructure is building fast. Again, Village Farms creating all kinds of momentum. So that's a wrap for this week. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. And if you're watching from Europe, let us know how you see the cannabis landscape evolving on your side of the Atlantic. From Berlin, this is the Trade to Black podcast. I'll see you next week back in the studio for a full recap, including a big name guest that I'm not going to highlight right now, but you'll see it soon enough next week. I'm your host, Shad Dales. This is the Trade to Black podcast, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everyone.